All right, good morning, TGIF. It is Friday, and we have Jacque Steele joining us today to talk about the Comp Laude event and her first time experience. But before we do, Jacque, good morning.
Good morning, Kristen.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing good, thanks. So before we start into the Comp Laude, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do for the industry?
Well, I've been a practicing defense attorney in the field of workers' compensation for approximately 24 years, exclusively representing employers and carriers in the industry. But during that time, I've also maintained a high level of interest in the E. Earl Zemer Moot Court Competition, which is a national competition that brings students from all over the country to compete in Orlando once a year. And this is something that I had a great interest in doing as a moot court member in law school at Florida State University. I'm a native Floridian. And one of the things that I've been fortunate enough to continue being involved in ever since going into practice as an attorney is the moot court program itself. And I have held a variety of roles in that program, starting out with a timekeeper. When I was first practicing, I was a student competitor in this particular competition as well. And then when I started practicing, I was a timekeeper, did that for a few years, and then worked my way up to being one of the main chairs that runs the entire program. And it has grown exponentially since its inception approximately 32 years ago. But it's a wonderful program, and I enjoy doing that and practicing in the field of workers' compensation.
So that's what you did this past weekend, right? You were all involved, and that's how you spent your Saturday and Sunday this past week before WCI?
Yes, actually Saturday, Sunday into Monday.
Wow.
The program begins Saturday evening with a welcome banquet for all of the student competitors and their coaches, and we talk about the pairings for the following day for the main segment of the competition. There are two preliminary rounds and a Sweet 16 round on Sunday. Then there are quarterfinal, semifinal rounds Monday morning, leading up to the final round Monday afternoon, which is judged by the First District Court of Appeal, sitting judges out of Tallahassee that travel to Orlando for the program.
Okay, very good. And so just a little bit more about that. Why do you feel passionate? I know we were having a discussion, and that's what triggered me wanting to have this discussion, because I'm hearing a lot, we need to get more people into the industry. Is that kind of why you do it?
I do, because I think it's important to get new legal talent involved in representing both injured workers, employers, and carriers throughout the industry. One of the things that a lot of law schools don't put too much focus on, unfortunately, is workers' compensation as a specialty, and it really is a specialty. The laws vary from state to state, and this is a very detail-oriented, intense practice, and it's something that requires, I think, top legal talent, and we want to encourage students to look at this as an interesting field of study, to practice in this area and encourage that. And the moot court competition allows that, because these are second and third year law students who, many of them don't have the opportunity to even take a semester course on workers' compensation, because many law schools don't offer that course. And so this might be their initial, and frequently is their first exposure to that as a field of practice. And when they walk away having a very good experience from the program, we have seen it encourage those individual students to develop their careers in that field, and I think that benefits the industry as a whole.
Right. Yeah, and I can really appreciate it, because I do hear a lot of, we need to get more people interested and get more people starting to flow into the industry as people retire coming up. So so on a Sunday morning, I sent you an email congratulating you for being a finalist for the Comp Laude Awards. How did that feel?
That was amazing because I had heard about Comp Laude through the convention annually and different seminars where you all participate and have a booth and different things that I see publicized. But one of the things that I know is that it's a national program recognizing people that have taken steps to better the industry, and I was very honored, first of all, to be nominated, and then to make it as a finalist, frankly, is amazing, and I'm so looking forward to attending the event in California and appreciate being recognized and a part of such a elite group of individuals. I know many of the nominees from my 24 years in the industry, and it's amazing to be listed amongst those caliber of individuals.
Well, congratulations on that. I'm honored, and I'm honored to now have met you and look forward to our conversations, especially what we briefly talked about at WCI. So what is one of the biggest things you're obviously other than the awards ceremony, what is something you may be looking forward to for Comp Laude?
I'm looking forward to the programming. I took a look at the agenda when I registered, and it looks like there's a lot of interesting events going on. I also think it will be a fantastic opportunity to meet some of the finalists and nominees that I have not had the pleasure of meeting, given they draw from a national perspective, while Florida and the annual convention that we have draws people from all around the country. There are still many of those individuals that I've never had the pleasure of meeting. And so I'm certainly looking forward to that and to get to know more about what kind of issues are facing the industry across the country. One of the things that is nice about the moot court competition, and this is something that's only developed probably in the last approximately 10 years, when we expanded the scope nationally through our partnership with the National Association of the Workers' Compensation Judiciary, we have been fortunate enough to draw judges from all over the country. In this particular year, we had 54 sitting judges of compensation claims, and they hailed from 13 different states. And one of the things that I found fascinating was to listen to the judges during breaks and some downtime when we were talking about the differences in the law from state to state. And because the law is state-based, some things that we don't have experience with in Florida are occurring in other states. And I think it's really interesting to develop knowledge of how another state may be dealing with a certain issue or problem, and how that wouldn't necessarily be controlling, obviously, in a different state, but they may have a unique way of addressing an issue so that it's taken care of and resolved. And it's always good to learn those types of things.
Yeah, I mean, I say there's essentially 50 little economies or systems going around that we all kind of have to understand what's going on in it all. And but the biggest thing I think the core is, getting the injured workers returned to work or providing them the care that they need to, have a quality life. So that's a nice thing. At least there's one common goal I kind of think that we all have across the 50 different states.
Oh, absolutely. And that's one of the things that does vary from state to state. And I find it interesting to find out how other states deal with return to work or certain types of medical protocols that might be handled differently in Florida, but that they could have an insight that would allow us to address a problem in a unique fashion in order to achieve the ultimate goal, which is getting that injured worker back to work and making sure that they receive the benefits that they're entitled to under the statute, which does vary from state to state. But I think that we can all learn from one another on interesting ways to approach solving a problem in order to allow for the best outcome.
I agree, and I think that that's one of the biggest reasons why you're a finalist and being recognized. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that that we can chat more at Comp Laude in Huntington Beach. Jackie and I will be there. But for more information about Comp Laude, go ahead and go to www.complaude.com, and we look forward to seeing you there.
Well, I look forward to it as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and enjoy your weekend.
Thanks, you too.